case Amazon is asking for a 6-month extension to its existing inducement.
Are there any questions?
And we've done this a number of times in the past, yes, correct, Mark?
We have, yeah, and we feel fairly confident that it's moving forward. My understanding is that they purchased the land, they closed on it. One of the more recent issues that were delaying this. So they do own the property now, so we haven't had much contact with them, but we anticipate this will be moving forward, and we're looking for the 6-month extension.
Okay. Any questions, any motion? Scott? Mr. Ross? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Roll call, please.
Mr. McCabe?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Mr. Berube?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Onesi?
Yes.
Oh, and Mr. Krumba?
I will abstain because I didn't hear the argument. I totally apologize.
Yep.
Read that, Will?
Thank you. Again, one of these matters that are fairly run-of-the-mill for us, at least procedurally. Greenbelt Mill is an existing project in the city of Niagara Falls. They have previously, and it's been going on for some time, they're in the process now of refinancing their existing mortgage. Moving forward, what ended up happening is the mortgages they're talking about are basically revolving loan mortgages, which normally are assigned from bank to bank. In this particular case, the revolving loan mortgages cannot be assigned bank to bank. Therefore, we need to be involved and we need to consent to the mortgage. Since we will be holding a public hearing on that, since the benefit would be over that threshold, and so forth.
Any questions? Issues? Any motion?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any roll call, please.
Mr. McCabe?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Krumba?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Mr. Berube?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Onesi?
Yes. The public hearing is scheduled for August 29th at 5:45 p.m. at the City of Niagara Falls. Ready, 2024, Ms. Bozak.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In 2020, the Cataract Committee approved, or recommended, I should say, a grant for $173,000 to this board, which was approved. The Center for Cashmere has more recently come back and asked for a early release of the funding for the funds for that grant. I did send out correspondence to the Cataract Committee on August 1st. The majority of the committee approved the early release funds. So before this board today is the request for the early release of the initial grant.
If I might, Mr. Chairman, just as a supplement to Andrea's comments, normally the release of the grant, they have to provide us with all proof of all expenditures, so it's a reimbursable grant. Ms. Sue Brown has gone through them and reviewed them all, and in fact, the expenditures are in excess of the numbers that are required to move forward on this. The only issue is there's been a supplemental grant to Cashmere, and this is where the trick and why we're coming to you. There's a supplemental grant that was approved for a phase 2. As the way the Cataract grant has in the past been, before it's distributed, we have to not only provide the receipts that the work had been done, but we also would like a C of O. Well, the problem is now that they've added part 2 of that, they can't get the C of O at this particular time because part 2 is now under construction. So what they're asking to do is, what's the 270?
I'm sorry.
The original grant was $273,000, so we're asking the board to authorize the release of the Cataract grant funds on phase 1 only.
And they've come a long way.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah, with the, this is the second floor, right? This is the second story of the building that we're in, the phase 2.
The phase 2 will be, I believe, the second story and more of a depository and of these artifacts. Phase one is completed, but because now they've actually more than doubled the projects.
Did we ask or did they explore the option to get a temporary CFO for the usable space? And was that,
Yeah, my understanding was
We did.
the city did not approve that.
the city did not approve that? Okay.
No, as, the city of Niagara Falls Code Enforcement Department does not issue temporaries.
Oh, okay, so that's a policy that Niagara Falls. Okay.
Thank you, Cliff.
Any other questions? Any motion? Mr. Scott? Second. Mr. Ross? All in favor? Any opposed? Roll call.
Mr. McKay?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Krempa?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Mr. Ruby?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Onesi?
Yes. Okay, MC landscaping.
I thought we were, I'm sorry, we're on 9 point, oh, I'm sorry, I missed 9.9.
There's no attachment.
Oh, I was good. Okay. Yeah, this is the reamortization of the loan? Okay. So, Dave came back to us and they asked for a, reamortization or a payment reprieve on their loan, on the existing loan that's outstanding. We discussed and talked about a couple different options. My initial thought was, to, if, provided that they can make due on the interest that was due year to date on their past due amounts, to extend the interest only period, and then discuss whether or not we wanted to reamortize the loan or keep the loan, keep the existing amortization, is this the existing term, and then just adjust the payments, or do we want to extend out the amortization? I mean, my recommendation on this was that we should give them the interest only, reduce their payment to interest only for the remainder of this calendar year, and then go ahead and make an adjustment with a current market rate as opposed to the existing rate. Obviously, current rates are slightly higher.
What's the principal?
I believe it's $8,300.
It's $8,833.89.
I'm sorry, $8,800. So I guess effectively we have two options at this. We could, well, I guess we have more than two options. We could say no, they have to continue to make their payments. We could give them the opportunity to make good on the interest that is past due right now, and then give them interest only for the remainder of the year, which would personally be my recommendation. Or then we can reamortize the loans and give them the reduction. Again, under the current terms and conditions.
This is, you got the background, I believe your recommendation.
Yeah, I would think that if we reduce them down to interest only for the remainder of this calendar year, and then with principal payment, P&I payments kicking back in for the month of January. I have not had a physical conversation with them, but I think the adjustment in payment, I mean, the payment already is I would think is pretty reasonable at this point. So, I mean, I think we need to pull their feet to the fire to some degree while giving them relief for the rest of this calendar year.
All right, any other questions? Comments? Any motion?
I will move that.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any roll call?
Mr. McKay?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Krempa?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Mr. Ruby?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Onesi?
Yes. 9.6, Mr. Gabriel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 9.6 and 9.7, the aforementioned Tima Montanti, 500 3rd Street, Niagara Falls project, and 512 3rd Street, Niagara Falls. In respect to 9.6, this project just closed in July on 3rd Street in the city of Niagara Falls. As mentioned before, these are not uncommon under the new costs that are associated post-COVID. And Tia Montanti, or it should say 500 3rd Street NF LLC is requesting that additional sales and mortgage tax exemption be provided. They are not up to the threshold, so a public hearing would not be required. It would just be one resolution here this morning.
Any questions? How much is that?
It should be written, the resolution. Let me double check. Which one do I have here? The 512 Third Street would be an additional 98 or 99,000, and the other one would be, I think, significantly less. And this one that we're talking about here would be just under 50,000, 40-something thousand. And that would be sales tax and mortgage tax exemption combined.
Any questions?
No, it's a good project, folks.
I agree.
Anybody motion?
Oh,
No, Dr. Crumpo, all in favor? Any opposed? Need a roll call vote.
Mr. McCabe?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
yes.
Mr. Crumpo?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Mr. Berube?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Onesi?
Yes. 9.7, PM non-comprehensive sales tax.
Same exact thing. This is additional sales tax for this project. The total amount is under that threshold as just discussed. So we just need one motion for final approval.
Any motion? Okay. Cliff? All in favor? Any opposed? Roll call, please.
Mr. McCabe?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Crumpo?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Mr. Berube?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Onesi?
Yes. All right, Bogarts and Object Development, Gabriel?
Thank you, and thankfully done with 9.0. Bogarts and Archer Development, also known as 428 Zimmerman Street in North Tonawanda, has an existing project which we've checked with Mike, and they're up to date on all of their pilots, and everything is in good standing. They are now just simply requesting, as required by our board, documents that the agency consent to the mortgage refinance for the project.
Any questions, comments? Any motion? Refinancing, Mr. McCabe? Mr. Ross? All in favor? Any opposed? Need a roll call, please.
Mr. McCabe?
Yes.
Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mr. Crumpo?
Yes.
Mr. Cliff?
Yes.
Mr. Berube?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
Mr. Onesi?
Yes. All right, new business, 10.1. Chairman, first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 10.1 is the proposed purchase and renovation at Brookside Commons. The town plan is 15 units, which will include any necessary maintenance needs, HVAC, appliances, fixtures. Mr. Trammell and his team from MHP Holdings are here to field any questions. However, 10.2 is also a mixed use, so if you want to hold off and ask them all at once, we'll just have covered on it.
I am.
Comments, about the project, or?
Well, good morning, everyone. First, I want to say thank you very much for your indulgence, and I was mentioning to Mr. Gerson today, hopefully third time is a charm. I also want to thank Mr. Ross for talking about the ledge last month. The professionalism that's been displayed by Ms. Langdon and Mr. Gertz, he really is, this has really promoted your reputation as a supporter of business and commerce, and I appreciate the involvement of both the staff members as well as the councils. So yes, I am attempting to acquire 75 units within Niagara County. The federal government and the state have provided additional funds for not only for acquisition, but to motivate and incentivize owners and developers to help preserve affordable housing. As we all know, it's a big issue in today's climate, and I'm hoping to be able to provide support for those assets here in Niagara County.
Any questions?
I think it's a good project. It was built sometime in the mid-sixties, because I remember it going up there. It was
Yes, sir.
kind of like it was kind of on the north edge of the Beacon Heights. And it's a very good looking building on the outside. It's appealing. So with this renovation work that you're going to do on the inside, it should bring it up to present day standards and things like that.
Yes, sir. And I should, thank the families have owned these assets for many decades, and they have, to their credit, Mr. Phoenix here, have invested heavily within the assets over these period of time. I think it's good help.
Any questions?
I have a question. Can you provide some insight or some detail with regards to the sources and uses of the project? I mean, specifically to North Wilhelm Drive, we've got hard costs of just slightly over $1 million or $2 million, and this soft cost number of almost $1.6 million seems like it's a little bit out of line for a project with hard costs of that. And again, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but we got the same sort of question, or I have the same question with regards to the second project as well. Roughly $8 million worth of hard costs and $6.4 million worth of soft costs. Is it possible to get some detail on what those are?
Well, the largest cost is the acquisition cost. The second largest soft cost is the legal fees. This is bond financing.
Okay.
It's very intensive. The legal cost is extreme. In terms of sources and uses, there's only two sources. There's the sale of the bonds and the sale of the tax credits.
Okay, so I mean, just specifically if we can delve into the 6127 North Wilhelm Drive. Property acquisition is $1,028,000 according to this that we received, and you've got roughly, let's call it $985,000 in construction and improvement, and then we've got soft costs of, I'm going to call it $1,596,921. Can you give me a breakdown of what that is?
Well, all right. Just in general, so roughly, it was a 12 million. I believe there was a total of 12 million there.
I'll show you what I got. I don't know. I mean, this specific to the project cost right here, and we can take this off of your application as well.
Okay. But as I said, specific.
I'd like to know what that $1.6 million is.
Essentially, how much is the A&E fee, what are the legal costs, what are the soft costs, break down the soft costs?
Right.
Yeah, from your application itself, the numbers kind of tie in. Actually, they tie in exactly to that. So we've got a total project of $3.635 million and $2 million in what I would call a hard cost, which is your property acquisition and your construction.
Mm-hmm. Can I have the other sheet, please?
This one?
For the larger project.
Oh, yeah, let me take that one back. Next one.
One,
Next
I
one.
mean, it's good to address them both together.
Okay. Or do you want it to, I believe this is your application, correct? Okay, do you want, would this make your life easier?
So I'd like to have this sheet for the other one as well.
Okay.
Since he's doing that, then question about the grants. If you're getting $1 million on the first project, what's that consist of, the grants?
So there is a climate housing program through the New York State, and the electrification under Governor Hochul is within that project. So they're trying to, it's a program to get away from fossil fuels, get more to electrification, and so that's the project I'm applying to. And it's just to help with changing over the HVAC systems.
And that's the same in the second project? at
Correct.
4.2 million?
Yes. So So I'd like to try to address this in aggregate. The acquisition is actually around $7.5 million. So the total is basically correct, 17 million, and the acquisition is about $7.5 million, 8 million. You have 4 million for 4.5 million for capital improvements. You have about $800,000 for legal fees. You have the required reserves. There's no wiggle room. It's just the required costs of, as I said, acquisition, capital improvements. Legal fees is coupled with the interest costs during construction. It's a 2-year construction period.
Okay.
Interest is about $800,000 during that period of time. It gets expensive.
Oh, no, I fully understand the cost that developers have to incur to go ahead and both take advantage of these, to take advantage of the tax credit programs.
Yes.
I'm just, when I see that, when I accidentally put my banker hat on, we generally don't see projects with more than 20% soft costs in comparison to the hard costs. So,
Right.
when I see specific to the first project, we see a project with roughly $2 million worth of hard costs. My expectation is that your soft costs related to that would be approximately $40,000. Now, I understand that could bump up with the fact that you're using the low-income tax credit program.
Yes.
So that makes some sense there. I just see, it's hard for me to bridge the gap between, to get from, even 20 to 40% in soft costs to roughly 80% in soft costs.
Well, I think the bigger problem is that the acquisition cost is understated. So it would shift over a little bit more of the soft cost into acquisition. The acquisition cost is almost $8 million for the 75 units.
For the two of them in
Combined.
I'm sorry, so can I see those again?
Yes.
So the property acquisition cost is not let's call it $5.2 million to use round numbers, or $5,150,000. It's actually close to $7 million to acquire
Yes,
the
it's
property.
roughly $98,000 a unit, and there's 75 units in Niagara County.
Okay. Would it be possible for you to provide, just some detail, I'd like to see the revised numbers, I guess, at that point, because, it's hard for me to get my arms around project costs that are, soft costs using the aggregate of $8 million, when you're looking at hard costs of $10 million.
Hey, Jason.
It's hard for me to get my arms around.
It's probably an awkward time, but, what we're gonna do today is just accept the application, set a public hearing.
Okay.
And then that would give, the company significant time to provide and answer those questions and any other questions that you or any of the board have.
Okay.
Right now, in additional figures before our next meeting.
Okay.
For your consideration, that'd probably be the best way of proceeding.
Okay.
Make everybody more comfortable.
Okay.
I agree.
Alright.
They need to come back to the board after the public hearing.
Yeah, I think normally we wouldn't, but in this case, I think if there's additional questions our board has at the next board meeting, it would probably be appropriate